Hello and welcome to Digitals and Gaming. I am Santosis and this is episode 9 of TNP Limitless 5. Alright, so last episode we went, let me go to sleep actually. I've just noticed that it's dark outside. And we really don't want to get dark because bad things happen. Right, let's go and have a look at the mining world because a lot has not happened. We've not done a lot of basics. However, I did get a couple more of these solar panel 4s, so I've made a solar panel 6, which is quite nice actually. It's a lot of power. I mean, 1,000 tick. So we've got quite a lot of stuff, which is kind of cool. I made a trash can so that we're avoiding some of the crap. We've got far too much stuff in here. We've got far too much stuff everywhere. We've got chests like we've got no, where they're going out of business. What you can't see over there we go. So now you can see all the little bits and pieces that we've got here. We've got things growing everywhere. It's just a mess. And out here we've got, I think that's a 4 and a 6. And this is powering everything. I mean, pretty much everything. So what we're planning to do today is an ME system, obviously. Now I've been getting some quartz enriched iron. I've got a couple of the advanced processors and construction stuff. This 16k storage I got out of a loot chest or a loot bag. Same with the fluid and same with the crafting upgrades and a whole bunch of these things, the interface, the gold and diamond crafter. I got some of those there anyway, and I got that ender book as well, which I made some GPS data cards. Now I'm pretty sure the GPS data cards is the things that I need, but I'm going to start with that because I want this to be the middle. So this is the block. Now I'm sure that if I go here and put the block in there, I should be able to shift and right click and jump. There we go. So that's kind of cool. So you can see it's teleporting in one. Now that will be really cool. Durability 7. That's not so good though. I didn't realize that it gets destroyed. Magical book, crouch to jump to put, repair the energy, with energy or ender pearls. Okay. So if we go over to here, can we throw the book in here? No, we can't throw the book in there. Then it's going to have to be ender pearls, which I don't have. So for the time being, we're going to store the book elsewhere because I can't warrant ender pearls. We haven't got any. But we'll work something out. So unfortunately, that's rubbish for now, but we'll sort something. Anyway, let's get back to ME. So we are going to go for refined because it's the simplest and just the easiest one to get into. So I'm going to start with a controller. So the main part of the system is a controller. Now, the controller is made of quartz enriched iron, which is iron with surrounding a little bit of nether quartz. It is also made with silicon. So this refines. Where are we? This silicon here. No, not that silicon. The silicon that I've got is this one, which is basically quartz, and then it's melted, turns into silicon. And then obviously a machine casing, which is andesite surrounded by quartz, will produce one controller. Now, you can see that obviously that charged because I've got the power packs in my inventory. So now what we're going to do is we've got power coming in here. Just there. So we're going to move this chest eventually. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to destroy that block underneath there. And we're going to plug the ME system just in there. Now, the reason I'm putting it there is because there is a power cable there, and obviously we're going to get rid of this chest at some point, and it would be nice to actually hook it up there. And for the moment, temporarily, what we can do is we're going to be making a couple of other blocks. So what we're going to be doing for the immediate future is we're going to be linking off of that thing until we can get rid of that chest. So what we do need is cables. Now cables obviously transfer the electronic signals. So we're going to grab 12 of those and we're going to put one of them just in front so that we can put things on top of it. Now Obviously, we could do a whole bunch of things. We could do an importer, which would import that stuff into the system. There's a whole bunch of other items that we need to do before we get to that point, though. So to store items in the system, we need a place to store them. So, it makes sense, like a chest. You've got the inventory slots. The only difference is this has a massive lot of inventory slots, and you can just keep adding. So what we're going to do is there's a disk manipulator and there's also a disk drive. Now what we're going to take is the disk drive, because this houses all the disks that are going to support our network. So you can see here we've got no items, it's not full, we've got a disk drive here, priority, and all these other features. Now the card that we got for free from a loot bag will go in here, and now we can store 16,000 items. There's no items in there, but we can store 16,000 of them. That's great, but we can't get anything into the system because we don't have a grid. Now a grid allows us, so if we, so that's andesite. So if we go and try and find some andesite, where are we? We've got to have some andesite somewhere. Oh, this one I got I got a tier 2 out of a loot crate, and I basically upgraded it to a tier 3. I did say that I was going to get 2 eventually, and yeah, I did. So that's kind of cool. I like it when it was for free though. So have we got any andesite in here? No. Okay, so we need to go and get some andesite. Pitiful generator. We've got nothing over here. There we go, andesite. So let's get ourselves another machine casing, and then we're going to get ourselves a grid, and we'll grab the grid. Now we've got a grid. Now we can connect it here and open it up, and you can see that we can store items. So this is the storage. Obviously it's just like a big chest. You can add different bits and pieces, and you can, there's lots of things to click, but it's essentially a big chest, and that chest is as big as this. So we can store 16,000 items. Now we can store multiples, or we can store 16,000 individual items. Pretty straightforward. We're going to take that off though, because there's another one that I want to get, which is a crafting grid. Now for an advanced processor and a crafting table, which we can just go in here and create one. So for that plus a grid, we can have a crafting grid. And then if we right click and place it down, now it's connected to the network. Now you can see we've actually got a crafting station as well as the actual grid. That's what we need. So I am going to throw all of these items into here for the time being. I'm going to take my torch back, not my torch, my thing back. And we're going to take the items out of this chest, like so. And we're going to put them in this chest, essentially this chest, like so. So we'll grab those and like so. And we'll carry on. And we're almost done. Now, obviously, we've got a few items here. We've got, 64 of these. We've got 8 of those. We've got, I'm going to take the Inferium with me, and I'm going to put that somewhere else because the Inferium is over here. So we'll put that in that drawer over there. But now, if we have a look, we've got all these items in here, and we've got nothing in this chest. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break this chest. We're then going to destroy that, and we're going to put it on there. And there we go. Right, now, look, if I take this storage card out, there's nothing in the system. Everything here is stored on there. Now, we've stored 866 items on that card. Having all the cards in there is kind of helpful, because all the cards means that we got all the items. So if I break this and shove it in here, and then do the same here, it's a bit tedious doing this, but I will show you a way where that can be a little bit easier. So now how many items we got? We got 1.5 thousand. So 1.5 thousand? 1,565 items in there. Now what we can do is we can go back and we can get all of our little bits and pieces that we threw in here, and we can create something called an importer. Now an importer is a cable plus a destruction and improved. So we're going to grab one of those, and we're going to grab some cables, because what we can do is if we have a look at there, that's empty. This one is not empty, so we can shove the importer on there. And then what we can do is we can connect that. So if you shift and right click and then shift and right click and connect it any way that you can into that system, you can see that we're importing one at a time, albeit slow. We are importing items into the system. Exporter works the opposite. Obviously, it exports to the system. Now, there are some upgrades that we can actually deploy. And that is exactly what we're going to do, because we're not going to wait that long for all that stuff. So we've got these whole things called a speed upgrade and a stack upgrade. Obviously, they do exactly what they say on the tin. Speed upgrades speed up the process, and stack upgrades increase the stack. Now, speed upgrades are, you know, pretty straightforward. We need glass, we need a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's go and get some glass. We'll get, we need some sugar. I know that. Now, is there any sugar in this table? We're going to need some redstone. We're going to need, what else are we going to need? We need sugar. I might have to go outside and get some. Do we have any sugar in? You know what? Let's just go outside and get some. Because we've got this thing here that's been growing. All right, it's only 2 by, but we get a couple, so that's cool. And then we'll go outside and we'll check on the progress of the mob farm as well. But right now, let's get some of these upgrades moving. So with the upgrades, if you click on the stack upgrade, it's made up of 4 speed ones. The speed ones are made up of a blank upgrade. So what we can do is we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, because we need 4 of those for definite. And then we will create some sugar, because I know that we're going to need sugar for the speed upgrades. And we need to create 4 speed upgrades. So we've only got 3. That's not a good thing. Hang on. Let's throw that away and put that one in there. We should be able to create another sugar. I think I need another 2 sugar. But because we need 4 speed upgrades. Oh no, I need 1 more sugar. So we've got to have 1, right? Not in there we don't. Not in there we don't. Not in there we don't. We got any sugar cane in here? No. And it hasn't grown yet. Alright. Let's go to plan B, which is wait for the sugar cane to grow. Not ideal. Have we got any in there? So we got a lot of stuff. We just don't have a lot of the stuff that we actually need, which is rather frustrating. I wonder. We've got 2. We just need 3, right? You know what? In the interest of getting this, I can always go and get some more. Plus that'll grow. Just as long as we got 1 would be fine. So let's go and sort out this, because I want to get this upgrade in. I want to show you guys just exactly how this upgrade works. I mean, most of you will know, but it's kind of cool to be able to do it. So let's get rid of the torch. Let's get rid of that one, and then what I can do is stack my inventory so that that's there, and then we get 1 more sugar. We get the speed upgrade. There we go. Last speed upgrade. And then we can get the stack upgrade. Now, we can't get the stack upgrade, but we've got the speed upgrade. Right. Is there any sugarcane anywhere? No. Okay, so we're not doing pretty much of anything as always. As always, I looked at it and I went, yeah, I've got everything I need. And then I get into it and I don't have everything I need. Awesome. Yay. Right, we have got bones. Let's go and see if we can grow some. That's a bit too much. Let's shove some of that over there. Right, let's see if we can go and grow some sugarcane. Because, yep, there we go. We can, and it can grow infinitely. Haha. Okay, keep going, buddy. You can do it. Now fall. There we go. Right, so that's still falling. That's just funny. All right, so you guys are happy. I'm happy because I got some sugar, or some sugar cane. So yeah, let's go back over here, and 54 of these should give us enough sugar. Right, so let's have a look at this stack upgrade now. So we can create this stack upgrade. There we go. And by then this time, this importer is already finished. Oh, it hasn't. Wow, that's how slow it is. So what we can do is we can stick in the stack upgrade over here, and then we can just have a look at here, and it literally will just take a stack at a time. That's it, done. And that is exactly what it does on the, you know, what it says on the tin. It says it does a stack, it does a stack. Now, we've got two options. We can either move this, like move this down, and this can now go as well, because obviously we've got this ME system here, so that's cool. But what we can do is these two are now empty. This one is full. So what we can do is just grab this and then we'll whack the importer on here. And then we'll put the stack upgrade in and we'll watch how fast it clears the chest. There we go. It's not bad, is it? I mean, it's not the greatest. It's not the fastest, but it's not the worst. And if we have a look, we're going to get to a point soon. Probably not right this second, but very soon where we're going to run out of space. Now, obviously, if we wanted to speed this up, we would just use a speed upgrade. Now, I don't know how many we got, so I'm just going to grab the one. I mean, I know we've got enough sugar, so that's fine. But you can see here that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you just one speed upgrade, and as you can see, doubles the speed. So you put 3 of those in, it goes pretty quick. So let's see if we can get 3 speed upgrades, because that would be awesome. We do not have enough. Right, okay. So if I grab, what am I going to go? I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put the andesite and stuff like that away. I'm going to put some of this basic stuff away for the moment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the upgrade, which is this, and I'm going to hit these. And then I'm going to make a couple more, which we... Oh, what are we missing? Oh, silicon. Oh, well, that's easy enough. That's this stuff. But there it is. There's the silicon. So I'm going to shove the silicon in, and then we're going to click on this thing again, and we're going to... So as you click it, because we've still got items in here, or we've still got enough items to make this, it will keep it, which is kind of cool. So what we're going to do is we're not going to waste all the items. We're just going to click that, and we're going to hit this button. And then what it will do is that will output over here, which is cool. And then we should be able to get our 2 speed upgrades. Should we be able to get our... Yeah, there we go. Well, there's one. Let's see if we can get the second one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these into the system. We're going to pop all of this stuff into the system because realistically, we need it in there, not in my inventory. So where are we? 2 more speed upgrades. 1 and 2, and there we go. Now, this thing should have finished. There we go. It's an empty chest. So what we'll do is we'll break that. We will put it on here. We will stick in the stack upgrade and then the 3 upgrades. And as you can see, we don't need this anymore and we don't need that one. So we're going to take our little cables. Now, that's almost full. We're going to hit the button and watch how fast that goes with 3 speed upgrades. Pretty awesome. Now, that's the problem though, because look, we're already up to 7 and we're just keeping going. Now, obviously, we are going to keep this chest, but we're going to rearrange it slightly. So let's get rid of these chests. It probably would go better with an axe. So let's get an axe. There we go. And a 5x5 axe. Fair enough. Not entirely sure that that's what I meant to. Whatever. Right, let's just dump these in here. So that's cool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move this. So we're not going to keep it there because it's unsightly. We are going to go pop. No, we're not. We're going to go single block and we're going to take those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put that under there and we're going to put that there. And then we're going to switch this so that we've got the importer and the 3 speed upgrades in there. Now, we need a wrench, so we need the one from Refined. And we're just going to grab one of those, which is relatively simple. We don't need a second one, so that's fine. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to wrench this round so that it points to the underside of that. And we are going to take these 2 blocks and we're going to put these in the front so that we can sort of hide it a little bit. We're not really worried about there because we're going to put another disk drive there anyway. Yeah, so pretty straightforward. We're literally 1 away from that, so let's get a couple of those. I'm going to put the disk drive there now because eventually we are going to expand into it, so we're going to put that down there so it's not horrible. Furnace Mark II can go because I have not used it. So that can go in there, and then we're good. So now anything that gets smelted will go in here, and obviously we will have a look, see if we've got anything in here just to check it. So there we go, we've got 5 gold. So we're how much gold have we got? 181. So what we're looking for is it to smelt, go into here, get imported straight away. 182, 183. There we go, perfect. That's it. Now we have an ME system. Now we can go over here and finally we can store stuff. Now we are going to quickly run out of space. Not even gonna lie. It's going to run out of space quite fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to shove that in there because I don't want that there, but I'm going to put that on top. Perfect. Okay. So now we literally are going to run out of space quite fast. So we have 50% capacity already, and we haven't even emptied half the chests. Like, that's just insane. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be still having in the chests over there, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this side of the room, but I'm not going to clear the other side. So over by the bed, where the beds were, I'm going to leave those for the time being until I get some more cards, which I will do, because obviously I've got the mining thing now that I can throw a hell of a lot of space to eventually, did I say? We've got that, so that would be quite cool. I'm going to have a look at how much or how full we are in a moment. We've also got this stuff, because I haven't been able to find a chicken, I haven't been able to use it on them. But we will find the chicken eventually. One day, maybe. Maybe we'll just make a chicken. Who knows? Yep, let's get those. So those go over here. And we can get the last of that as well. And then that one's empty, so they're all cool. We've got one behind us, which is empty as well. And how much storage have we got? Right, so 9.6. We can't start emptying these ones because there's just too many. But, you know, we've made a start. So I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do, though, is try and get rid of some of this stuff. Like, the Sterling Dynamo is great, but I don't really need it. The scanner, do I need that at the moment? Not entirely sure. I'm going to get rid of the dark oak planks. I'm going to get rid of the GPS data cards for now, not for right now. That one would be quite funny. That one's a tri-bow. We're going to get rid of that for the moment because I just need the space. Like, literally, I just need the space to put those in there. And obviously this. And that. And then the rest of it can go in here. Perfect. Okay, so interface. So I got this out of a loot crate, which is kind of fun. Press the wrong buttons. So an interface, and we've got these 2 crafters. Okay. So an interface will sit, say for instance here, and you can say import and export. So you can put things in. So if I said I want, so say for instance we had a chest that we wanted to keep, I don't know, 64 cobble in. We could put a stack of 64 in the interface export, and it would always keep a stack of 64 in the closest inventory to it. And then same on the other way around. If we've got something where we're pulling things into the system, we can say that we only want this many in at once or at any one time. Now, these ones are different. Okay. So these are crafters. Now, crafters are actually completely different. We're going to place them down because we want them. Obviously, we're going to need them in a minute. So the gold one, it doesn't start off this way. It starts off as a basic one. So the basic one is this blue one. And then if we have a look at the blue one, we can then make a red one, different colors. But there's also the higher tiered ones. Now, these are the higher tier ones. So if we go and have a look at crafters, we start off with the blue one, which is the default in the pack, which is this one. Okay. Now this will do about 8 or something, or 9 crafting recipes. Then you've got this one, gives you 27 patterns, but 1 times the speed, 5 times the speed and 45, 63 and 25 times, and then 125 times the base speed, plus 81 patterns. Now what this does is it allows us to put a pattern into here, and obviously speed upgrades and that kind of stuff. So what actually that allows us to do is create auto crafting recipes. Now we will get into that, but right this second I'm not entirely sure that we've got enough resources to get some of these up and running. Now what we're going to do though is we're going to try and see whether we do, because if we do, that would be absolutely awesome. So the first thing that we need is we need a couple of things, but the first thing we need is we need a pattern grid, and we need a is it a pattern grid? And I mean, a crafter manager would be nice, but pattern grid is definitely the one that we need first. Like all the other stuff would be good, but yeah, pattern grid would give us the stuff that we need. So what we need is a grid, because everything starts off in these ones as a grid. That was missing a destruction core, so we'll grab a destruction core. So that's just a basic processor plus a nether quartz. So we're going to grab one of those, and we are going to create our grid, and we're going to shove that in the system so that we can then craft on it again. We need a pattern and an advanced processor. So a pattern is blank storage card. Okay, so we're going to grab, I don't know, 16 of them, but we'll come back and do a few more of those because we're definitely going to need them. And then obviously a pattern grid is an advanced processor, a grid, and a pattern, a blank one. And we're going to grab that, and we are going to put that here. Now this looks very similar to what we've got, and we've got this exact and processing and all that kind of stuff. So what this allows us to do is take these blank cards and create patterns, so that they will automatically process stuff. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some more patterns. So we click on the pattern thing, we click on the move items, and you can see here that we've got processing and exact. Now if we leave, so it applies the pattern into here. So this is the crafting pattern, and it tells you what you're going to get out as an expected, which is a blank pattern. Now if we use the exact tick box, it will always use this glass and no other glass if it can be used. Because a lot of patterns or a lot of recipes allow other types of glass to be used. So if this exact is on, we cannot use any other type of glass except for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that off. Now there are some cases where you need that on. Like if you've got a certain type of silicon that always comes through the pack, etc. But right now, for different types of glass, we really don't want it on. And this is not a processing recipe. So there is the crafter can be used, turned towards a machine, so that it will put the items into a machine. So we'll get to that. But right now, we're just going to make some blank patterns. So you click on the little create, and then you get a one pattern. If you press shift, you can see what that pattern is, and that will become apparent later. Now we are going to put that into the diamond because it's the fastest. We're going to shift and just put it in there. When you just put it in there. When you shift, you can see what is, there, the ability to do, like what you need to create it. Now, if we go back to the crafting grid, now if we type in pattern, we don't have any patterns in the system, but we do have a crafting recipe for the pattern. So we can click on that, and we can say, okay, I want 64 of them, hit start, and it tells you how many items you've got and how many are missing or available. So I reckon we could probably get maybe 10. So there we go. So we've got 30 glass available. We've got quartz, and that will make patterns. And yeah, so we'll just hit the start button, and there you go. And more patterns created. Now this works. I mean, obviously I'm going to put these patterns into here so that I can create more things. So I click on that little X, and now I can create more things. So what's the next thing that we're going to need? Well, basics really. We're going to need some cables. We're going to need to be able to craft those. I would like to be able to craft these items here, but we will get to that because, I mean, actually what we can do is we can click that one, and we can click this one, and then we can click this one, and now we've got all three of those. These will then be smelted to create these ones, so we'll get to those ones shortly. But this one, for instance, is a proper recipe. This one is a proper recipe that's just a recipe in a grid, in a crafting grid. And then this one here as well is, yeah, string and slime ball. So we're going to take one of those because we definitely need that. This silicon is not a crafting recipe. It's a processing recipe because there's a process used to get it. Pretty straightforward. I mean, we've got, what else we got? We've got destructor, constructor. Let's have a constructor so we can do a complex recipe there, which is fine. Let's go for the importer because we know we're going to need some of those. We're going to need some exporters, which are the other type. What else we got? We got the constructor and the destructor. So we don't have a destructor. Now, if you press and hold shift, you can see which ones you've actually created. What else do we need? We need quite a bit of, you know, these things up here, but we're going to get to those after we do one processing recipe because we've got this thing here. This will pick up from this and then import into our system. Now, the whole purpose of being able to import into the system is on a process, you send the items get processed into something, and then it goes into the system and fulfills the crafting recipe. So it needs to go back into the system. So if we just put all these in here, now what we can do is have a look in the system and we can select what we actually want. So here you've got normal, you've got no craftables, or you've got only craftables. So that's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we need to take these raw, improved, etc. once they've been created, and then we need to create these basic, improved, and advanced. So what we are going to do is we're going to grab one of these. No, where's the crafter? I'm losing it now. There we go. One of these crafters. We're going to get one of those, which we don't have a recipe for, but we do have a construction and destruction. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this button. We're not going to hit that button there. We're going to hit this button over here. Where are we? Crafter. There we go. Hit that button. We're going to take that pattern and we're going to put it down there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in here with the crafter and we're going to say, I want one. And it's going to say we're missing a machine casing and an advanced processor. So an advanced processor is one of these. So if we take advanced, what we can do is we can say, right, I want two of those, start. It will make them because these recipes are a grid. So it's a grid recipe. And then what we can do is we can throw them in there manually so that they will then go back into the system. Now, machine casing, do we have? No, we don't. So I don't have a recipe for a machine casing, which is why it was complaining. We're going to hit the machine casing button and we're going to hit that one and put another crafting recipe in there. So now we should have two advanced processors. So if we scroll down, we've manually added two advanced processors. So that's fine. So let's go find the crafter now. We should be able to make one. We're going to hit start and then it's created that for us. There we go. So now what I can do is I can put this over here. Okay. And all will be revealed shortly. But what I do need is this because I need to turn this around. So we need to point it down to the inventory that we want it to go to. And I am going to run the cables, and I know this is horrible, but I'm going to run the cable across the top for the time being. This is not going to be forever, but it's, you know, it's horrible to look at, but it's functional. That's what I'm looking for right now. Now, This process turns into one of these three. So this one, as a raw basic processor, turns into a basic processor. If we click this and then hit that button, we can see that the processing check mark has been ticked. Because this is a process. There's a process used to take this to this. And in that process is a smelting process. So we're going to just hit the button. And as you can see, one raw, one basic. Then we're going to click on the improved. And we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to do the same last thing for this one. And then what we are going to add is the silicon. But we're going to select the recipe that we want, which is this one. And we're going to hit that button, and then we've got 4 smelting recipes, which we can then put in this crafter above there. Now, if we see we've got nothing in there, we've got no bits and pieces and more bits and bobs in there. What we're going to do is we've got enough silicon, but what processors do we have in the system? Right, so we have 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to take all of those out. And then I am literally going to go, I want 2 of those, and I want 2 of those, and I want 2 of those. And what happens is they should, he says they should. Well, they should have. Well, that didn't work, did it? Why didn't it work? Didn't go into here, did they? Why didn't they go into there? Is it because it's a chest? It may very well be. Let's fix that. So we're going to destroy that. We're going to destroy that. We're going to destroy the top. We don't need that if we're going to go under. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one and this one. I'm going to add cables, and then I'm going to plug this thing straight in, right? So we'll plug it in that way. No, it needs to go around because it needs to point to the one that you're going to, and then this is set to auto import into the middle anyway, and that is on, so that is good, right? So there's our processes. We are going to empty the system. So we're going to go for the processors, and we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to say, right, I want 2 of those. All right. There we go. 1. 1. So we should be able to go. I want 10 of these. And then, there we go. Right, so 10 of those. Oh, they didn't go in. 1 basic processor is 1 raw basic. Yeah, no, that should be fine. That's not good. Why is that not working? They worked, but they didn't. That's weird. Right, so whenever something doesn't finish, it won't clear down from the system. So basically what you got to do is just make sure that, you know, if you've said that you wanted 10, you get 10. If you said you wanted 12, you get 12. Otherwise, they remain unfinished. And if you use the crafting manager, you'll be able to see that, which we might need to get, actually, because at the moment, I mean, it's not so bad because we've only got a couple of items. I'm not entirely sure why that's not. It's set to auto output input. That should export. That's fine. Processing. So improved, advanced. So if we go back over to here and we go for processor, we got 4 and 2 and 12, right? Because that's what I've just put in. So if I go, I want 2 of these. They're getting crafted. Did I not select these? I want 2 of those. They're getting crafted. Did I really click the improved? I must have done. I must have been doing a stupid thing. because this looks like that's working. So there we go. There's auto crafting. So whatever I did wrong, I did wrong. Oh dear, I think I clicked processor, didn't I, rather than the actual items themselves. So basically what happens is anything that's connected to this furnace now, we can upgrade this, obviously, with a whole bunch of them. But just as long as it's pointing to the one that you want. Now, that doesn't have to be there. It can be here with a pulverizer. It could be this centrifugal separator. It could be this central fabricator. It could even be this, Tinker's Workbench. It could be the dissolution chamber. It could be anywhere. Like, you could link it up to this, which we are going to link up in a moment. Because what we are going to do before the end of the episode, we are literally going to hook up the automated Chica log. We're using Chica. We're using Chica. Because why not? For the moment, we're using that. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the refined constructor. So we're going to get a constructor. We're missing 2 quartz enabled. Oh, hang on. We didn't teach the recipe, did we? No. So let's go and teach it the recipe. So we click on the quartz iron and we'll click on that one and then we'll teach it the recipe. We'll put it in here. And then now when we do a constructor, we should, there you go, it will make pieces that it needs and then I will have my constructor at the end. Perfect. And we're also going to need a couple of cables or some more cables. We've got some of those, so that's fine. Right. Now, the constructor needs to go here. So there's a couple of ways that I need to do, or I could do that. What I am going to do is break this and break a couple of these just so that I've got a bit of space. I'm going to get rid of that one and I'm going to go, where am I going to go? I think what I'll do is go around or under. Let's go under. So we're going to go under here. So we'll put a cable and a cable and then we'll put the constructor here. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. We're not just going to abandon it there, but we are going to just break a few more blocks because I want to get the cabling in the right place, because obviously you can see here that we've got to go under here to get that cabling because I don't really want to mess with the power. And I just fell down. What the hell are you? You're a goblin trader, but is going to die. Because you're dead. There we go. All right, so let's get the cabling underneath. So that will run under. That will run up. And I'm going to put it into here right now. Oh, the other thing that you need to do is every so often right-click on here and just see. We're using 141 FE a tick. And obviously, the more that we add to the system, the more power we use. So just be aware of that. Because sometimes you will run out of power and you don't know why. And actually, it's purely and simply because you've got too much stuff added to the network. So just be careful of that, because I've fallen foul of that a few times. But if you are careful, then you shouldn't be, you know, there isn't a lot that you can not do. Let's pull that one back. What I'm going to do is I know that these are going to come around here, so I'm just going to cover up the floor as we go. So we're going to break this one, and we're going to break that one, and then we're going to put the cable there, so that will now connect up. We're going to put that one back in, and then we can put the floor in. Not before we switch this to up. Right, so what we're going to do before we cover everything up is we're going to right-click on this. Now, a constructor is very cool. Constructor allows you to place things. It constructs that block in front of it. So we can change it to fluids. So we can put a water block there. We could put a lava block there. We could put various other types of fluid. However, the item, what we want is an item. Obviously, we've got exact mode on, so we're going to always pick the exact one. We don't need exact. We just need a log. Okay. And drop blocks instead of placing it? No. So you can either drop the block or you can place the block. Now we're going to put that in there. And the first thing that's going to happen is the block is going to be placed. Now, I'm stupid. I've got it in the wrong place. However, I'm going to do this and we're going to move it because that would be not stupid. So we're going to place that. Where are we going to place it? We're going to place that one there. Let's get our wrench. There we go. Perfect. Right, so I'm going to fill in the floor and then I'm going to put this out. So if we do this, we've got a nice, neat little floor again. That's cool. Now, if we go over to here, you can see that we can see the constructor. And I'm going to place, so I don't want it to be exact, so I want it off. But I do want to place a log, and then it will place the log exactly where the fluid extractors are. Which means that it will then continue to make latex. And then, literally, I'm going to break this block. As soon as the block is broken, another one is placed in its place. So that will keep that going round for however long that is. Right, this one had power. This one doesn't have power, does it? No, of course it doesn't, because I just put the power cable back in here. So let's go get these power cables and we'll see what we can do with the power. So there we go. We're going to hook up that power there. That will then not hook up to anything else. So what we're going to have to do... Let's just dig into the floor again, because these are just blocks. Deep slate blocks, so that's fine. What we'll do is we'll run it the long way around, because I really want to keep that cable in place. There we go. And then this one will be the outside wall anyway, so that we're not going to care about that. This can go back in there, and then we're all good. So all of those powers are now hooked back up, and everybody is happy. Cool. So what we've got now is we've got the constructor over here automatically placing that, so that's now keeping us, or going to keep us, in a tidy supply of dry rubber. And what we will do is actually get an importer on that so that we can import into the system. But we've already got the cable down there. So now importing into the system isn't too bad, because we can just run a cable. We've got the automatic smelting, which is quite good. So obviously any other smelting recipe that we want to put, we can put there. But we can upgrade it to maybe a gold tier, or we can upgrade it to the diamond tier, and then we can create those. We've got the patterns in here to create things. We've got patterns to create patterns. So we've got a pattern that actually creates more patterns, which is quite cool. The only other one that I will go through and I will put in myself are, and this is what I highly recommend, is putting in the disk drives. Because disk drives, as you saw the last episode, are a pain in the ass to make. So what you really want to do is create all of the different sequences up to the 64, and then forget everything, forget all these little 4K ones. You just want to go straight to the 64. Although, is there higher than 64 in this pack? No, there isn't. So what you want is you want to go straight to 64. So forget about doing all the other disk drives. You just want a 64, because if you can't do a 64, it's not worth it, really. Or I don't think it is. I mean, you can do what you need to. So we've got 33 missing. So if we go out to our... Oh, this is the other good thing as well. Is like once you've got, you know, this kind of stuff here, you can then just come out and cherry pick what you want for the moment. I mean, we can just go... We want loads and loads of redstone. We want all of that stuff. We want the iron, and then we can come back. And obviously when we've got an ender chest, we will then link it so that the importer will be on the ender chest, which is kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this stuff in here, and the spare stuff that I did. I'm also going to put this. Yeah, I need to think about this. I think I need another chest that will pull from... Yeah, as well as a crafter. I think we're going to need a chest on that, because I'd like to be able to just shove stuff in there and it'd be good. Also, we could put an exporter on the top instead, and we could pipe tiny coal, and then we could also do a crafting recipe that would allow us to make tiny coal if we run out. So that would be quite cool. So let's get rid of those. Right, so you should be good now. So if I want to make a 64K disc and I hit the button and then I just go start, what should happen is give it a few seconds. And obviously, you know, there's a lot of steps here. It's got to make a bunch of these. It's got to make a bunch of these and a bunch of those and Christ knows what else. And then it basically comes out and eventually it will be a 64K. So what it might need to do is make some more of those, in which case, yeah, there we go. So as you can see, because the recipe required it, it's now made those items, which is brilliant because the raw basic processor is there. Now, what I like to do is have a stack or a whole range of furnaces and then have all different crafters on there so that they can do things individually. And obviously put the best speed upgrades and all that kind of stuff on there, smelting upgrades, so that we can process stuff a lot faster. And then possibly have some auto crafting going on to like keep a stock of stuff. I mean, I think a balance between a stock of stuff and crafting what you need, there is a fine balance there, but if you can get that right, then you can pretty much insta-craft stuff. There we are. Look, we need some silicon. So the nether quartz is being put into here. Really, when you're crafting, the vast majority of the time is usually when the items are being processed. So as you can see, you know, we've got 30, 29 left, 28. So yeah, and we've got enough tiny coal, so that's fine. I don't know what is after this, but what we could do is maybe have a look at a crafting manager or a crafting monitor. Crafting manager, what one is that? I don't know. I'm going to go with a crafting monitor, which we can't have right now because we need patterns and improved. And at the moment, we've got a whole bunch of stuff cooking, and if I start taking the resources for that, then it won't craft. We'll do that in a second. Like, literally, there's only 14 left there. So that's cool. Not too shabby, actually. It's really quick. Come on. Right, that's almost done. So we'll be able to see that. Now, obviously, if we have a look in here, we're up to 9.3. If we have a look over here, we've got 5 or 6 left. 4, 3, 2, 1. And if we go and have a look at 64, once the silicone's done, it should auto-craft a 64K storage part. And then if we put the 64K storage part in here, we've now got a total storage capacity of 80,000 items. Perfect. Priority is just that. Basically, if you hit priority, it will try and fill these discs up before it fills up these ones or that one or whatever. There's a mode that you can actually do blacklists and whitelists so that you can have fluid discs in here, so that you can have one entire disk drive for fluid, water and lava and, you know, whatever else is needed. So yeah, there's some really cool stuff that you can do. I mean, obviously we're only just scratching the surface, but this is still pretty cool. I mean, we've got that. There we go. That one's already popped. So we've got a few more here. We can take these over from here manually right now, and we'll shove them in here because we need to smelt those up as well. What you could do is you could basically hook up an exporter to go into here and put in, you know, stuff like iron and, you know, dry rubber and all this kind of stuff, or latex or whatever, dry rubber that turns into latex. You could put that on there, but I mean, it's just as good with an exporter and a chest. You could do that. You could auto smelt it. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, there's lots and lots of things that we could do with this, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I think for now, that is a pretty detailed explanation. We've covered quite a lot of refined storage. I mean, like I said, I've done it before a few times. I prefer fine storage because it's very simple to get into. However, I do like applied energistics because it's complicated and it makes you think and it's nice. But for starting out, this is just so easy. And obviously we've got access to solar panel or solar power, which I haven't shown you actually. So we've got a panel 6 here, so light level at 60%, but we've got 7 million stored, or 7.5 million stored. So yeah, generating 614 a tick. So we've got plenty of storage as well, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, we are cooking on gas, as they say. What I will do before next episode is obviously go to the mining dimension. We need to sort this out. So I'm going to transfer a whole bunch of stuff from here to our system and set up some of the auto stuff like auto smelting and that kind of stuff so that we can just get rid of some of this in there. We're going to have to take some of this stuff out anyway because, I mean, we just haven't got the room and we've got the power now. So these ones were from loot bags, and then obviously this one is I had the other way around. So that's not even touching the sides yet. That's generating. That's not generating as much as it's using, but I don't care. That's full. This is now again full, and you just saw me take a whole wad of that out. So we really need ender storage because I can't keep going backwards and forwards. So we need to try and find out or work out how we can get an ender chest, or well, actually 2 ender chests is what we need. So how much did that just add? So, yeah, so this is why you need a whole rack of these. We're gonna have to work out how to get an ender chest. Let's have a look at ender chests real quick, so that you guys know what I'm going to be trying to work towards. So there's an ender chest. We have blaze rods because we went to we got obsidian. We can grab some more of that, no problem. With yellow wool we can find. We've got leather. Blaze powder is fine. That's the bit that we don't have, the ender pearl. However, we do have emeralds. We have slime balls. We don't have a snowball, and we don't have an ender prediction. What's this? Dragon's eye. We don't have. We don't have a cleric. Although a cleric would be fun. Okay, chorus fruit. Interesting. What's that? Echo shards. Okay, we'll look out for some of those. What else have we got in here? What else can we use? And again. Mobs. I mean, we might be able to... I'd find a mob of some sort that would be able to do it. I don't know. Dragon's eyes. Yeah. I think at the moment, I don't think we've got access to any of that stuff. Not unless it's in here. Raw soulstone. Geodes. No, we don't. Okay, well that's fine. I mean, we'll just have to work out how we get some of that. I will do a little bit of playing around and see whether we can get any. Do we need limestone? Limestone we probably do need a little bit of, so I'm going to take that now. Andesite we definitely need a little bit, and calcite I do know we need a little bit of, so I'm going to store that in these packs here. Put it in there, perfect. So this is my pocket storage for when I'm mining. I've got 2 of them. I've got this one which gives me all the blocks and stuff that I want to avoid, but I still want to keep a stack of them. And then these are the ones when I'm going around, I just add the stuff into there so that I can just total it up, and it makes it quite fun because when you get back, you know, obviously you just keep one of each in there, and yeah, now obviously when I'm mining it will just store, you know, whatever I've got in there. But now I've got these items that I can then utilize. So it works out quite well. Let's have a look. Raw zinc. Yeah, that's fine. Come on. There we go. One of those back in there, and then we should be good. Perfect. And then we'll shove all of this in there. Except for that. Because that will go over here. Because we've got quite a bit of that already. And we'll see what we can do with the Infernium. Probably some seeds or something. Maybe some Enderman seeds. Right, so I might need to go and find some Enderman. In fact, actually, I will probably go and find some Enderman, to be perfectly honest. I think we might have 1 or 2. Oh, no, we used them, didn't we? Ender pearls we used. Ender surge gems. I don't know what you do with those, and I don't know what you do with... Okay, well, anyway. Maybe we'll get lucky in a quest. No, we won't. Awesome. Let's get 4 of those, and we'll put the shards in here. Okay, so we got a diamond crafter. Nice. That's another diamond crafter. I don't really want to put it down there, so I'm going to shove it up the top. What else we got? We got Elementum sword, fair enough. Space chamber controller, tablet of awakening, a couple of other bits. We've already got a pipe wrench. We've already got things there. Flint shield, tome of archers, the chicken. Yeah, fair enough. Let's just shove all of that in there. But no, that's not too bad. I quite like free stuff, and that is nice free stuff. And we got 70 here. If we go and stand over here, our XP will go into this and fill the tank up, and we won't lose as much when we die. When we will die, because I'm going to go after Enderman, so that's not going to be pretty. I will probably record some of that. If it's cool, I will add it to the next video. If it's not, then yeah, everybody knows how to kill an Enderman, right? You just chop his legs off. Yeah, but anyway, I think we've done pretty well. I'm going to get some more of the cards, move all the stuff over there, drop that into the ME, probably create a couple more MEs, maybe one outside, linking it to those drawers. But we can go over that next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you can like and subscribe, if you don't, that's cool too. I would like to grow this channel. I've had this channel for a couple of years now. I have just got to the point where, you know what, it's about time that we grew it properly. So yeah, I'm making an effort to make sure that this, sort of gets off the ground. So I really do appreciate the watching, and I really appreciate the comments that have been made. And I do read them all. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Syntosis. You've been awesome. Later.